This is Iron Man. Iron Man is a famous superhero who built his own jetpack and can fly around the sky. He is a wealthy billionaire who saves the world from bad people.
Iron Man is a guy in a red suit that's made out of real metal, and he has rocket feet and one giant light bulb on his suit. I know Iron Man.
I see and talk to him every day. He is actually a real teacher at my school.
This is Mr. Harding, and he is a true Iron Man.
My name is Izzy.
And I'm Paige.
Join us as we capture the hard work of our 6th grade teacher, Mr. Harding.
And what it means to become a true Iron Man athlete.
Here comes Spartan's very own Iron Man, Mr. T. Harding. This is my Iron Man teacher.
What is an Iron Man? Yes, in comic books and in movies, it's a fictional character who saves the world.
But an athletic Iron Man is someone who wants to push their bodies to the last degree.
An Ironman triathlon is a series of 3 long-distance races. The Ironman starts with a 2.4-mile swim, then a 112-mile bicycle ride, and ending with a marathon, which is 26.2 miles. Altogether, that is a total of 140.6 miles. In one day, it is widely considered one of the most difficult one-day sporting events in the world.
The Ironman event has time limits to complete the race. The race typically starts at 7 o'clock a.m. Some athletes finish the race at 12 o'clock midnight. The mandatory cutoff time to complete the swim is 2 hours, 20 minutes. Any participant who completes the triathlon within the 17-hour time constraints is designated an Ironman.
The history of the Ironman goes way back. The single-day endurance event, now known as Ironman, was created by Judy and John Collins, a couple who moved from California to Hawaii in 1975. It all started on February 18, 1978. 15 participants embarked on a journey. Judy and John Collins saw their dreams come true with the first ever Hawaiian Ironman triathlon. That event now marks the start of modern triathlon in the U.S.
Gordon Holler was the first Ironman, completing the course in 11 hours and 46 minutes. Today, the Ironman is organized by the World Triathlon Corporation, the WTC. Hundreds of thousands of triathletes from around the world have challenged themselves to prove friends, loved ones, and even just themselves that anything is possible. Judy and John said to each other, "If you do it, I'll do it." And John famously added, "Whoever finishes first, we'll call him Iron Man." For the last 2 years, we have been following Mr. Harding around capturing his training and races. We wanted to see what it takes to become an Iron Man.
We were curious. When did Mr. Harding want to accomplish this athletic goal?
When I was 7 years old, I used to sit on my mom's living room floor and watch Iron Man on NBC. They would do it in Kona. And at that age, I knew that I wanted to do an Ironman because all these participants would go out and do the Ironmans, and I was always intrigued and got a little emotional when they crossed the finish line. So I said to myself, when I was 7, I've always wanted to do this. And so I used to run half marathons, trail runs, and I finally got to the point now where I can do a full Ironman.
Mr. Harding did his first full Ironman last year. For his second full Ironman, he wants to beat his time.
This year I want to try to get under 12 hours. So for me, this year's Ironman is just trying to beat my own time.
The Ironman has 3 sports built into one big day. Every athlete has their own favorite sport during the race. Mr. Harding's is the running.
Running is my favorite aspect of the Ironman because I've been running for years. I've done 17 other marathons before, so I've been running for many, many years. The race really starts when the run starts. So the swim portion is not my favorite part because I only learned how to swim about a year ago. The bike is fun because you just get to coast and bike, but the running is the best part.
How do triathletes train? A lot of them get coaches. A triathlon coach helps train the athlete. Mr. Harding has a coach, and his name is Mark Cavallero of Cav Tri Coaching.
His coach has done 22 full Ironmans. Mr. Harding ever say he wanted to give up?
No. I know he felt that way sometimes, but he never said it. And I think during the Ironman itself, since it's such a long event, there's times where you do feel like you want to give up, but if you just keep going, things end up working out.
Why do you think athletes want to do an Ironman?
Good question, because we're crazy. But also, I think it's an accomplishment. I think if you can do an Ironman, I think everything else in life is very doable. I think it puts things in perspective, and if you can do an Ironman, you can do your homework, or you can take a test. Things are not as tough as they seem when you complete an Ironman.
At the end of every Ironman, do you usually celebrate with a pizza party?
Yes, lots of pizza, and I think Mr. Harding also likes ice cream, so I think he did pizza and ice cream.
I think that's all our questions.
Triathletes have to train hard to complete an Ironman. Mr. Harding trains hard. He gets up every morning at 4:30 a.m. to swim, bike, or run. Teaches at Sunrise Elementary, gets home about 4:30 p.m. and does another 2 hours, has dinner, goes to bed, and repeats.
Thursdays, he swims open water at Lake Natoma. Saturday are his long bike workout days, which can be around 4 to 6 hours, and Sunday is his long run days. He has Mondays off.
Athletes have to eat well during training and during the race. Mr. Harding eats a lot of black beans, avocados, and chicken. He never drinks soda or alcohol. During the race, he mostly has a liquid diet with carbohydrates in his water bottle.
There is a lot of equipment that a triathlete needs to finish a race. For the swim, they need a wetsuit, swim goggles, swim cap, and earplugs. For the bike, they need their expensive bike, helmet, bike shoes, 3 water bottles, nutrition gels, and sunglasses. For the run, they need running shoes and a headlight for when it gets dark.
On the race, all of the equipment is separated into 4 bags, and the bags are placed in the transition area. At the transition, each athlete changes their clothing and switches out what they need for the position of the race. It was really fun to be at Mr. Harding's Ironman races. On October 22nd, 2023, he completed his first full Ironman.
For his second Ironman race, he wanted to beat his time and get under 13 hours. It's a year later, October 27th. 2024.
Here is Mr. Harding's second Ironman race. This is my Ironman Teacher. The Ironman transition area was at the Sacramento River Cats Stadium. Mr. Harding arrived at the stadium at 3:30 a.m.
He set up his 4 race equipment bags in the transition areas.
He got on a bus to the start line. On this day, there were 5,580 athletes in the race.
The Ironman course start line was at the Township Park. Athletes swim down the American River and turn onto the Sacramento River, ending at the Sacramento Tower Bridge.
Every 3 seconds, they would release 4 athletes into the water.
Every beat, 4 guys go in.
Let's go Spartans! Let's go Spartans!
Mr. Harding started the race at 7:22 a.m. As he jumped into the water, panic kicked in, which forced him to a slow swim start.
The swim is not his favorite part of the race. You could see him treading water once again.
Panic is over, and he starts his run. Swimmers had to stay inside the red buoys or be disqualified.
The temperature of the water was 23 degrees. Swimmers wear wetsuits to keep warm and help float.
4 large sea lions were there to cheer on the athletes. They swam up from the Pacific Ocean.
Mr. Harding had a good swim. He finished the swim in 1 hour, 10 minutes, and 24 seconds. Athletes had to run 1.2 miles from the swim bank to the River Cat Stadium. This is called transition number 1.
Running in a wetsuit is tough, so they have race volunteers who strip the wetsuits from the athletes. Mr. Harding changed from his swim gear into his bike gear. He exited transition number 1 in 10 minutes and 35 seconds. Now he has a 112-mile bike ride. The 112-mile bike ride went from the Sacramento Rivercat Stadium along the South River Road all the way out to Cortland and then back to the Rivercat Stadium.
That was 56 miles, so they have to turn around and do the entire bike course again to make the 112 miles. We are at the
Biking portion of the Ironman competition.
and most bikers here have done 100 miles and more.
On this day, the winds were coming in at 23%, which slows down all the riders.
Mr. Harding finished his bike ride in 6 hours, 56 minutes, and 47 seconds.
At transition number 2, Mr. Harding changed from his bike gear to his run gear. His transition time was 14 minutes and 9 seconds.
The Ironman run course is 2 double loops from the Rivercat Stadium along the west side of the river, over the Yellow Bridge, out to the Discovery Park, and back to the Rivercat Stadium.
They run this 2 times and end at the steps of the state capitol.
And now they are on to the final portion, the running competition.
Mr. Harding leaves the transition 2 to start his 26.2-mile marathon. He has a good run but starts to feel sick at mile 14. He throws up 2 times. His coach gives him a talk and they decide to change their food and drink the on-course electrolytes. This helps Mr. Harding's race.
Good job, everyone! Along the marathon course, Mr. Harding has a ton of support from his family, friends, teachers from his school, and other athletes. At 10:01 p.m., Mr. Harding makes his way to the final mile of the marathon. Near the finish line, athletes ring the finishing bell.
Mr. Harding finished his second Ironman! Congratulations! Mr. Harding finishes his second full Ironman at 14:39:33. He did not make his goal time.
This is my Ironman teacher.
Watching Mr. Harding complete his second full Ironman makes me feel proud for having him as one of our school teachers.
Through this journey, I've learned that being an Ironman isn't just about swimming, biking, and running. It's about determination, perseverance, and pushing beyond limits. My teacher may not have a high-tech suit like Tony Stark, but his dedication, hard work, and resilience make him a real-life Ironman.
I myself would want to compete in one of the Ironman competitions to see how far I can go.
Over the past 2 years, I've seen firsthand and what it takes to train for something so challenging. Watching Mr. Harding makes me not want to compete in an Ironman, but Mr. Harding inspires me that anything is possible. Success isn't about being the fastest or strongest. It's about commitment, resilience, and believing in yourself, even when things get tough. We all have potential to be Ironman in our own way. Isn't in the suit, it's in you.
The real Ironman behind the mask. This is my Ironman teacher.
Trevor Harding from Folsom, California. You are an Ironman.